And we are live, and a good evening to everyone out there, and welcome to a special, and I mean a special, Westerosi Ninja and Dog stream. I'm your host, the Westerosi Ninja. Coming back and joining me today, or tonight as usual, is Dog from the Dawg Show. So what's going on, Dog? How are you doing?
Doing great tonight, Ninja. Yeah, looking forward to doing the stream here tonight with you. We got a little teaser this evening, right? And it's kind of the talk of the neighborhood, and definitely interested in getting into this one with you here. A Ninja Dog special, if you will, tonight. And thanks for everybody being here tonight.
Yeah, cool, Dog. Yeah, so exactly what Dog said. So tonight we'll be looking at the new Game of Thrones Season 8 teaser called Aftermath. And it basically focuses on the clues found in the video, right? And this was really inspired by two people, Living My Rhapsody and Bridge 4, Kev, when they showed their videos. And I was going, this is interesting. So let me go put my own take on, these objects and what they really mean. And then I was really inspired, like that Chicago song, You're the Inspiration. And then I asked Dog, hey, come on and basically tell me if you agree with these observations. And basically, Dog has not seen these slides yet, okay? So this is completely unscripted, and it's completely also non-serious, guys, okay? We don't believe half the stuff that we're talking about tonight. We won't be, okay? So anyway, but maybe it's true. Maybe some of the stuff would actually be true, Maybe Forrest Gump does appear in this Season 8. You never know. So with that said, I think we should start, Dog. What do you think?
I think so. Yep, folks. I'm going off the leash tonight.
Yeah, he's going off the leash and into the pasture. So, and but before we get going, hey, Dog. So what did you think about the teaser that was released today?
I thought it was, I expected to feel kind of sad, but by the end of it, I don't know what happened. Because it's kind of a gloom and doom thing. But by the end of the teaser, I had goosebumps, on both my arms, just absolutely sticking out. Right? And I only watched the trailer, I think, 2 times. I bet you there was some music in there that I didn't. I need to go back and watch it again. I didn't get a chance to watch it since you this morning. I think OTDA shared with me this morning. Thank you, David, for sharing that with me. And by the time the teaser was over, I just had goosebumps, and I was definitely stoked. But I wasn't too concerned about oh wow, it's all gloom and doom, right? There's a sword in the ground, right? Jaime's hands laying there, right? There's other things that we'll get into, of course, right? And then we had the feather, and right away I was thinking of Forrest Gump for some reason when I saw the feather kind of floating around, right? And I kind of just felt like it, but at the same time, looking at a film like Forrest Gump, right, it just kind of reminded me of kind of the randomness, right? And looking at where it all, what randomness kind of led all these folks through, kind of thing, right? Through this trudge, right? But I don't think it's necessarily everybody's going to die. Well, maybe they do, So, but kind of a terrible spoiler if that's true, right? If everybody just dies, they kind of just told us everything, with this. What'd you think, Mel?
Well, that was pretty serious, Dog. Well, yeah, I think, obviously in this teaser, right? The scenes that are depicted in this teaser doesn't actually represent any kind of actual footage that's going to actually appear in any episode in Season 8. If you want to be really serious, I think a lot of the stuff is just basically represents that each of the main characters are going to lose something. Hence, that's why you have all these lost objects kind of floating around in the teaser. So it basically represents loss, I think. But, on the lighter side, it kind of reminded me of like a TV version of Monopoly. Imagine like Game of Thrones Monopoly, right? You have all these little symbols, right, that you used to, always
right,
like Monopoly, like sort of like the thumbnail, like the thimble, the wheelbarrow, the dog, the cat,
I always like being in a race car.
Yeah, in a race car. And then it's the same thing here. You got the sword, you got the broken wheelchair, right? You got Needle, Long Claw. You got, the broken wheel. It's like seriously. I mean, this was like the teaser version of Monopoly in Game of Thrones. So
That is perfect.
Yeah, perfect, right? Yeah. So
make
okay.
a Monopoly board and then put those pieces like that. You have a golden hand like that for Jamie and the other stuff like Needle for Arya and
Sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I don't know what the race car is. Probably Brand's wheelchair, but
Oh.
Hey, this is a non-serious stream, guys. Okay,
right?
So please don't get offended by that. Anyway, so what we're doing is that I saw about maybe 12 clues and objects in this teaser that we kind of just basically go in chronological order and just talk about each of them first. Okay, so we're gonna start out with the first scene, and basically what it is a flag on top with a black wolf. Now, what does that really mean? Are we gonna see burnt wolves in Winterfell? Sorry, guys, it's really Winterfell. So, and just for comparison, I found a picture of what burnt wolf meat looks like on a web, and it has almost like the same color as that flag. What do you think, Dog, about that?
Wow. And yeah, because you didn't even see how the paint, how that's kind of fading. Yeah. It almost looks like the seasoning. Is that seasoning on that?
Yeah, sure is. I think some little bit of pepper on it or something.
Looks like a pretty nice lean piece of meat. Is this really a wolf meat?
Yeah, yes, it is. It is burnt wolf meat.
Hmm.
I mean, it's about as I mean, it's what Google says, right? So I trust Google, implicitly.
Right. Yeah. And that's what burnt wolf meat looks like. I wonder what like medium rare looks like.
Probably a little bit more red.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah. I'll have to do some research on that.
So what do you think about this? I mean, do you think the black wolf does represent something here, or could it really mean burnt wolves?
What I think it means is that after all this, after the storm settles, right, the wolf has been scarred. Right, but the wolf is still going to be there. The pack survives.
All right,
that's the way I see it. I'm going to be the glasses kind of full guy tonight.
Yep, and Amanda, you are right. That is some tough looking meat, definitely. No offense to any of the vegans out there and vegetarians. Okay, so that was our first clue. So first kind of like different things that we saw a black wolf on a flag. Usually the wolf is kind of like gray, right, in the show. So our second object is we see what appears to be kind of like an arrowhead, okay, with these kind of like metal spikes around it, right? And to me, it looks like it's Edward Scissorhands to the rescue here, right? Because look at Edward Scissorhands beneath. Look at his hands; they look exactly like, what's sticking out of the concrete of the stone there. Don't you think so, Doug?
Not only that, he kind of looks like Zombie Mountain's little brother, possibly. But could you imagine this guy fighting on top of the wall there on Winterfell when all those whites come in there and he's just rocking those scissors, man? Well, he's gonna be a beast. I tell you what, he'd be a tough opponent for a Clash of Crows.
Oh, sure, yeah, especially if they're like dragon glass scissors. Can you imagine him just going off on like the Night King with those dragon glass scissor hands? I mean, that'd be like wicked, man.
But yeah, that would be an amazing cameo, and yeah, I mean that would be fantastic to see Edward Scissorhands. I mean, who doesn't love Edward Scissorhands? First of all, right? Yeah. And to actually see him make a guest appearance, and possibly the greatest television show in history, right? That would be just a fantastic way to go out for Edward.
Yeah, and then after Edward's basically beats the Night King, he can give Jon a haircut, right?
That too, and then
Jon needs a haircut.
Hopefully Qyburn lives, because then he could maybe come up with a new contraption for Edward, because we have Qyburn. He might be able to make him some new scissor hands, some gold ones.
Oh, we got an awesome comment in the chat. Bubba Husky says that if his hair was white, he'll look like Book Theon, like Reek. That's cold blooded. Good one, Bubba. That was really good. And anyway, all right, next. And our next object is, all right, I think this is the return of Nymeria, and she looks really, really pissed. So what we see here is a picture of a direwolf, probably one of the direwolf statues that basically leads into the entrance of the crypts. That's what I'm thinking, and what you see below is a picture of basically a GIF image of Nymeria from last season, and they look awfully familiar, don't they?
Yeah, they absolutely do. I'm just trying to think of if this particular wolf is the. Yeah, that does look like an awful lot. Does look like her. But yeah, she would be pretty upset right now. I mean, Arya threw those rocks at her and stuff, and kind of threw her out of her life, right? And Nymeria was learning how to get gloves and things of that nature, right? And she's probably a little ticked off, but at the same time, she's going to help out. But she's going to do it begrudgingly, I think.
Yeah.
They're gonna be best friends forever. They are.
Of course, and she's gonna come back in their pack of wolves. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if like Nymeria basically mates one of the lesser wolves and basically create like a whole pack of dire wolf / common wolf hybrids, kind of roaming around the north. But we will see what happens. But definitely there is some resemblance, and not all wolves look alike, guys. So I think at least that we will see Nymeria in season 8 coming back to help him. What about you, Dog? What do you think?
Definitely. Yeah, they showed all those wolves surrounding Arya, just to show her like she was the wolf champion, sort of thing, right? I mean, that was an awesome scene, right? And yeah, Nymeria's got her little band of her little brotherhood without banners, if you will, right? So yeah, that's another factor I didn't bring up before when we were doing our predictions. I was thinking about Theon coming to save the day a little bit, a la Theoden King and Lord of the Rings. But yeah, don't forget about these wolves, of course, too, right? That pack. How many more wolves does she have? Is that just kind of her Kingsguard, Nymeria's little Kingsguard of wolves? She might have a whole army.
Yeah, actually, Dog, I do have a slide with Theon that you'd be really impressed with. And Kev, he asked a question here. Is it possible for direwolf hybrids to be even larger, like Tygons and Ligers or Ligers or whatever? Okay, and the answer is sure, because I'm sure they'll be as big as Zorses in Essos. So there you go. All right, so our fourth object is, I think, this is definitely a clue that the rumors of the white Hodor are true. Okay, see that door right there? Okay, that we see in the arrow sign. And see that picture of Hodor?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, it's back. Those doors look completely alike. Okay, so we are gonna see white Hodor in Winterfell in season 8. And just in case nobody remembers, that was the scene from Hold the Door. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that, Dog, first of all?
I had this crazy theory popped in my head, Milt. Like when Leaf kind of blows herself up, right, and blows everybody up inside there, right? Yeah. Do you think like all those whites that are coming after Hodor got burnt up, and Hodor's still just kind of standing there holding the door? And like he's still alive, right? But he's just standing there holding the door. But all those other ones kind of burned up.
You mean he contained like the shockwaves from like Leaf's exploding grenades?
Yeah, that would be like the craziest thing ever to happen, that Hodor actually lived. Because we never really do see him. I mean, we see him take a couple of shots here and there, right?
Yeah.
But we never actually see him go down. And all I saw was Leaf. She blew up everything inside there. So I'm assuming those ones got burned up too.
Yeah. I mean, it was afterwards. But didn't we see some like one of those a lot of those whites actually climb up, climb up to the ceiling, to the roof of that structure, and then slide down. So
Yeah,
not,
and then
not all the whites actually went through a door.
they were after those two, right? But yeah, I thought it was absolutely crazy, and that would be funny.
All right, so yeah, so number 4 is that I think it's confirmed that the rumors of the white hole door are true. I mean, just look at the similarities to the doors. Okay, so yeah, great. So
I love that picture there in the top right corner. That's fantastic.
All right, and we are on number 5 now. Tyrion drops his badge. Okay, and how sad is this? So you see like a little hand, was it a hand the queen kind of symbol on the snow there, and that's what it looks like blown up, and that's Tyrion looking all mean. Okay, so what do you think is happening here? I mean, he drops his badge. Does he survive, or do you think he's dead?
Oh, he definitely survived, but I mean, this definitely proves that he's not going to be Dany's lapdog, if you will.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes I just come up with them, right? But yeah, this definitely proves all the speculation that Tyrion's gonna go turn heel on Dany and Jon here. I think that's exactly what that and it's pointing at us, the viewer, right? That's important. It's pointing at you, saying, "Haha, I gotcha, fooled you." See, pointing the crossbow at you. I've turned heel, sucker.
You think Tyrion, by not having his badge, I mean, do you think he'll be able to get into his office?
Ooh, I wonder if he knows a guy at the carpenter store or something. Might make him a new one.
Yeah, because I mean, I've lost my badge like multiple times, and I couldn't even get back into the building or even into the elevators in my office building. So I'm just kind of curious what would happen if he lost that badge, the hand of the queen pin. Would it suddenly just stop him and goes, "Hey, you're not authorized to go into the Temple of Marine or something like that, Temple of the Graces."
Yeah, like if Tyrion forgot his badge, right?
Uh-huh.
The one that would be pretty funny, and they were just like, "Hey, can't come in."
Mm-hmm.
Because
you're an unauthorized user. you're an unauthorized visitor. You must sign in first at the front desk, and please provide the proper form of ID. Anyway, so that's our 5th object, and what do we have now for number 6? Oh, we have Excalibur makes an appearance in Winterfell. Yeah, so you see that scene, right, from the trailer, and you see Nito kind of kind of stuck into a stone there, and here's a picture of Excalibur, the sword of the stone, the sword in the stone. Hey, the similarities are uncanny, don't you think so, Dawg?
Oh, that's exactly what I thought of immediately. The king without a sword, the land without a king. So this definitely means that the land's going to die for a while, right? And everybody's off searching for the Holy Grail. That's exactly what's happened right now. Jon Snow has sent them all off to find the Holy Grail, and then I'd imagine maybe maybe Davos or somebody, right? Somebody pretty cool has come up and told everybody, "Hey, look, he who draws needle from the stone is going to be king or queen of Westeros. So have at it." But you got to find the Holy Grail first.
So in this scenario, who do you think the evil Queen Morgana would be?
Oh man, Melisandre is so kind of, but I mean Cersei's more even Mordred than
okay.
I would think. Is that what you were asking, Mel?
No, Morgana, right? She was like the evil
Morgana,
or was it Morgan Le Fay or Morgana? Yeah. It was one. I think both of them existed, but one was
her son.
Yeah,
right. Mordred was King Arthur and her son.
Yeah, Morgana's son. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
so
Cersei kind of fills that role, but Melisandre's pretty close because they're kind of sorceresses, if you will.
Yeah. So do you think Arya would be King Arthur? You think she'll be the one pulling the sword out of the stone?
Well, Arya,
yeah,
pull that sword out. Well, man, I'm wondering why she put it in there in the first place. Well, maybe she got a better one. Well, yeah, she's got that Valyrian steel. Maybe she gets Heartsbane or something, or Oathkeeper. That'd be cool if she got Oath Keeper by the time it was said and done. Be sad and cool at the same time. But yeah, if not her, then possibly Hot Pie.
Oh, you think Hot Pie is actually going to come back from like the Crossroads Inn, quit his job as a chef, and basically go up there and
just pull it out?
Hey, you know what? That might happen because isn't that the same exact rags to riches story of Arthur?
Right.
All right.
All those tough guys will be trying to Patrick Stewart and all them. They'll try to pull that needle out, and Hot Pie's going to walk right up there and look just like gravy.
Awesome.
Or butter.
Yep. And Imagination Rome says, yep, restaurants are hard to maintain. Definitely. All right. And we are going to go with our 7th object here. Death-defying wall jumping. Okay, so you see that scene, okay, of the rampart, right, behind a wall, and you see this kind of like, tipped over looks like fire pit or whatever you call it, like a fire stand, right? You see that same exact scene, same exact place where Sansa and Theon jumped off. Okay, coincidence or not? Do you think we're gonna see some death-defying wall jumping in season 8?
Yeah, I think that, or what happened was like he tried to jump, like using that as a prop to kind of leap over the wall and kind of messed up. So we might get a good, funny fall off the wall a little bit. I mean, it's not going to injure him or something like that, but it's something that you're going to be like, man, I hope he's not hurt, right? But if he's not hurt, we're going to laugh. We're going to laugh, at what we see.
I'm kind of thinking that we will be seeing some wall jumping here, for like the survivors, right? Who are going to have to escape from the White Walkers. I think there will be some pretty cool 75-foot jumps with barely a scratch.
You know what, Mel? I was so hoping at some point to see those whites jump off the actual wall, the actual big wall.
Sort of like that scene from World War Z, where you had all zombies kind of climb up like the wall, like in front of Jerusalem, and then you saw some whites kind of fall down.
Like kind of like at Hard Home when they jumped off, right?
Oh, yeah.
At Hard Home. But I don't know if that big of a fall might just shatter them all, right? And then they'll just all be like an arm and a leg kind of crawling around.
It could be, man, could be. All right, and so death-defying wall jumping. Coincidence or not, and our 8th object. We have the feather, okay? And what does that mean? Well, I think you and I agree. It really means run, Forrest, run, okay? Basically, the survivors are going to have to run like Forrest Gump, basically evade all those, University of Alabama opponents, on the football field and basically run into the tunnel after scoring a touchdown. So here's a feather kind of like, floating down. And here's the feather from a scene in Forrest Gump. Coincidence? Look at that. They're both floating around, right? And then, of course, you got Forrest there. At first, I kind of thought maybe it's not Forrest Gump. Maybe the feather really represents Lyanna Stark, but since she's gone, it could represent the other Lyanna, which is, Lyanna Mormont. And then it basically represents, as it's falling down, it represents the fall of Lyanna Mormont. So Lyanna. But that was just a kind of a pet theory. I like the Forrest Gump theory a lot more now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, I'm thinking Lyanna might be more like Jenny, right? She'll be like, you can sit here if you want, right? So as, maybe I'm trying to think of, maybe as Jon Snow or somebody's walking by and they're getting picked on or something, right? And then she'll be the one that's saying, you can sit here if you want.
You think the survivors, like after the battle, would be like standing in front of Winterfell, waiting for a bus to come by, basically to pick them up and basically drive them out to like Ripper Run?
This here's the bus for school. You're gonna get on.
I mean, what do you think? Well, I mean, hey, maybe Hot Pie would be driving the bus. Think about it.
Oh man, I was thinking of. And God rest his soul, Chris Farley from Billy Madison. That'd be great if he showed up.
All right, I don't know. Okay, so we're going into the next one here. So run, Forrest, run. The feathers. Okay. The broken wheelchair. Okay. So I'm thinking what happens here is that Brand is going to commit some insurance fraud and get himself a new ride, just like Professor X. What do you think? Look at this wheelchair. It's how busted up it is. It looks like someone just kind of like pushed it off the cliff, right? Or pushed it off like, the high, kind of like pushed it off the ramparts above the stairs and kind of just shattered. But see that spiffy, wheelchair that Patrick Stewart has or Professor X has beneath? Lightweight, looks pretty maneuverable. I mean, that is the kind of wheelchair that Brand should have, being like the three-eyed raven and all. What do you think?
You should have like a Valerian steel. I mean, I'd imagine that thing's made out of adamantium, isn't it?
Professor X's wheelchair? I have no idea.
Yeah, whereas Brand's, his looks like Wile E. Coyote was using it to try to catch the Roadrunner. Yeah. And, it didn't work out. Do you see was there an Acme logo on the chair at all? Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Yeah, potentially maybe Maester Lewin just basically like ordered it through Acme, right? For like $39.95, got himself a really really cheap wheelchair. Or it could have been basically bought, it could have been basically bought in IKEA, and then somebody else just put it together, right?
I wonder if that
with that really really flimsy wood that they sell at IKEA. I'm not sure if you've been there, but they have really really flimsy wood.
Okay. So. Might be some of the lumber that Sam's been peddling from his neck of the woods.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's the wheels that Danny was talking about trying to break. I'm looking at those broken wheels.
No, I think there's another wheel out there. I'm thinking that wheel, the other wheel, later on the teaser is probably from a regular cart or a wagon, is my guess. But I don't know. I mean, I think Brand was just looking basically, just to upgrade his wheelchair here. I mean, I don't think anything will happen to Brand. It's insurance fraud, man. So anyway, number 10.
Real quickly, Mel.
Go ahead.
Can you go back? Does Professor X look Professor X?
Sorry, which one? This one?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
He looks like he's on the top hill of a roller coaster, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks scared, like he's about ready to do something that he doesn't really want to do.
Oh, supposed to put your hands up.
All right. Okay, so number 10. All right, we got the hand laying in the snow. Okay. Well, I think what happens is that Jamie got an upgrade and ditched the old one. I mean, and look at all the possible prosthetic hands that we've had in fictional movies, right? So you got Jamie Lannister's hand. You got Chubb, right? From Happy Gilmore. That looks like it's brass. Captain Hook from Peter Pan. Got a hook there. Hey, the return of Edward Scissorhands right there. With these little spiky things, scissors. Ash from Army of Darkness, the chainsaw. That looks pretty cool, right? I mean, that would be pretty wicked to battle the whites with. And Buster Bluff, right? With whatever the hell that is. So anyway, and Luke Skywalker. Can't forget Luke Skywalker and his prosthetic hand, right? So there's plenty of different models that Jamie can upgrade to, which would be a lot more practical and used in battle than just that golden hand. Don't you think so?
All right. And yeah, I'm just like, that's incredible you use that the Star Wars reference with us too, because that's reminding me of Luke on Hoth there in the beginning, right, when he sees the vision of Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Eventually, Jamie's going to be kind of crawling through the snow, and Obi-Wan's going to pop up here, right? And yeah, great. You know what? Captain Hook is an underrated villain. I just want to say that out of all the Disney villains, Captain Hook is kind of underrated, I think. And yeah, he was a fantastic villain at the time. Yeah, one of the first prosthetic hands I can possibly remember, right? And then there was Luke Skywalker, of course, and Ash, right? This is my boomstick, right? I mean, Ash from Army of Darkness and Evil Dead, and I don't know who Buster Bluth is for some reason, but I bet you that's fantastic as well. But yeah, this looks almost like the Hoth scene, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure does. Exactly. Yeah, and you see that kind of like that metal hand, right? I mean, you remember this scene, don't you, Dawg?
Oh yeah, and then he tosses it.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of porgs dancing on top of it.
Yeah, for everybody out there in the chat, Dawg, can you tell them what this movie is from?
This is the episode 9, The Last Jedi, right? Or episode 8.
Yeah.
episode 8 or 9 or 25 or something, right? Yep. So.
Yeah,
Yep.
for some reason, Luke's like synthetic skin got burned off, and all he has left is a metal hand that was never explained.
Right, and then like you see all the circuits and wires are in the wrist.
Yeah,
I just assumed this was all flesh and bone.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be cool like if Jamie upgraded this kind of hand? And then think about it this way, right? Jamie would upgrade to this kind of hand, and then like Brienne after the battle would like hand him like Oathkeeper, and he'll just toss it behind his back too, just like Luke did with the lightsaber. Same hand. Anyway, all right. Next object, number 11. Okay, we're almost done, guys. Okay, number 11 is you can't steal my kingdom, because we see a wheel with appears to be a chain stopping it from spinning, and I liken this to basically a wheel club. Okay, and this is for you, Bridge, because I remember your car being stolen. Now, if you had a wheel club, maybe it wouldn't have been. So, but anyway, this is exactly what that chain serves. Basically, that chain is preventing that wheel from being spun around. And that chain is actually the same chain that Daenerys is wearing on Dragonstone, believe it or not.
Yeah, and she's not going to be able to break that wheel if it doesn't even spin.
Yeah. Exactly.
What kind of wheel is that you're breaking?
Yeah, it's idle talk by Daenerys, right? You can't break a wheel. There's a big club there, a wheel club. So
that's like taking out the crippled monkey that we were talking about from Cobra Kai, right?
Yes.
I mean, do you want to be the strongest dragon, right? Or do you want to take out the crippled monkey, right?
Yeah.
So that great analogy there, Milt.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's better to take out the crippled monkey, only because your instincts of self-preservation will kick in, and you're more likely to survive a fight against a crippled monkey than like the strongest dragon. Just saying.
Yeah, but it's not how you play the game; it's whether you win or lose.
Hey, that's what Carl Tanner would do. So, right? I mean, he'll probably take out the crippled monkey.
Definitely, and then he'd become legend.
All right. Okay, guys, we're down to our last one here. Okay, and this is the most important one. We see Longclaw lying on a mound of snow. Okay, I think this is Jon Snow Revival Part 2. And when I first saw this scene, I was expecting like Jon Snow to just basically pop up, from underneath that mound of snow and just give us the same reaction, sort of like what he did the first time he got resurrected, with that big old eyes kind of blurring out and everything like that. What do you think, Dawg? I mean, is that what you were expecting as well?
I liked your version because when we talked earlier, folks, when we got to this end part, right? This is when the goosebumps were, right on top on my forearm, just just totally pointing up or whatever, right? And but that would have been awesome to see him like come out of the snow and been like, yeah, we're still gonna fight or something, right? I was kind of expecting to see somebody just reach their hand down and grab the sword and kind of walk on by, right, and then kind of fade. But this was fine. But yeah, that would have been perfect because we've seen him, with all the bodies around him, and with the ice water too. He had to come up out of that too. So probably another one I'm missing here or there too. But that's kind of his thing, right?
Yeah,
kind of like Harry Potter likes the disarming spell, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of John's thing, is coming up out of wells and out of situations. Oh, he climbed up a wall too, so why not out of the snow?
Yeah, I mean he's the master of dramatic escapes and resurrections, right? I mean, it says a lot about Kit Harington's acting ability, actually, right? So yeah.
Yeah, and Harry Potter.
I mean, if you look at that expression, isn't that awesome? That expression.
Harry and Jon are the same, kind of like Luke. Luke and Jon are kind of the same too.
Yeah, and Luke's kind of the same as Daniel LaRusso.
Absolutely.
So you guys get that, guys, in the chat? So there's actually a trifecta of films which are pretty much the same movie or the same story: Karate Kid, Star Wars, and Game of Thrones. And all of them had their inspiration from Lord of the Rings. It's the same story. It's the same story, guys. So
it is. Anyway. Well crafted, and it's beautiful.
You know what? And that's the end of the show. We have nothing else. So that was all 30 seconds of the teaser, guys. I mean, 12 objects, and wish it was longer because we could go on and on and on all night. So anyway, thanks again, everybody, for joining in tonight. Is there anything that we missed?
Out of the 30 seconds?
Yeah, out of the 30 seconds.
I don't. I know I watched. I'm pretty sure I watched it twice, and then I watched "Living My Rhapsody." I was able to watch her reaction or her review of the teaser, right? And I know she was a little worried about things, but don't worry, it's going to be fine, right? They just got us kind of like, oh, it's going to be doom and gloom. Don't worry, they're going to fight, right? By the end of it, the sword's still going to stand, right? Just like kind of the wolf painting, right? They trudged, they went through things, they got scratched up, dinged up. They're going to move on, and they'll be standing by the time it's all said and done. Or they're all going to die, and it's going to be, we're all going to cry.
Yeah, sure. Okay, the Imagination Realm asks a question. What about that Night King, or that figure that we see in the background?
Yeah, I noticed that too.
What do you think that is? You think that is the Night King, or is that like a training dummy in the courtyard?
Did you ever see that film Mothman?
No, but there is a character named Mothman in The Watchmen, the old Watchmen.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think it was like it might have been like the Mothman prophecies, or it was just called like Mothman, but like Richard Gere or something, and about the bridge and stuff. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, and a little bit of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The more I'm looking at this a little bit, so maybe that's an alien, possibly.
I mean, it kind of looks like an alien. Has that kind of elongated head, those really long arms. I mean, it's not like the stereotypical kind of alien-looking thing,
right?
I mean, they're either like big with very long arms and big heads, or really small with oversized heads and big old eyes.
So yeah, I'm guessing we might see the Hound. As opposed to using potatoes, he might just use a bunch of chickens or something, right? Some chicken bones and thighs and things of that nature, right? And he might, create, kind of what Richard Dreyfuss created in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's my prediction.
I'm still really disappointed that Jon Snow didn't pop up from that amount of snow there at the end of the trailer. I'm really disappointed in that, HBO. You could have done a lot better.
Oh, you thought we should have got a little more snow?
Yeah,
or
a little more Jon Snow just basically popping up, out of that mound of dirt.
If it would have been Beatrix Kiddo.
Yeah, exactly. Like Beatrix Kiddo and Kill Bill. You got it.
That would have been freaking perfect.
And you can see like Jon Snow, like a picture of Jon Snow, like beneath the snow doing this with the puncher. And thinking about his mentor, it could be what, Sarah Farrell, could be whoever. Anyway, whatever. So I think we're done here.
Well, it was only a 30-second teaser. There wasn't
exactly. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, all, for coming on again. I hope it was fun for everybody. Again, this was just like a really off the cuff thing. Because there was a lot of inspiration from this teaser today from a couple of folks. So anyway, thank you again for coming out. And let's see, who do we have here in the chat that we can actually shout out here? Well, we got Luke, Drinks and Knows Things, Rhodes Rants, Mother of Krakens, Kev, Bridge 4, Imagination Realm, Shannon Thompson, Peter Griffin, Terry T stopped by, Amanda Kane, Choo Choo Train, Jenny of Coldstone, Shannon Thompson again. Missing anybody here?
Peter Griffin?
Yeah, I think I said Peter Griffin. Oh, Game of Theories with Marie. Thank you very much for stopping by. Game of Owens was there. Who else do we have? Oh, Nix PK. Long time, but glad to see you here.
Marie.
Yep, Game of Theories. Fearless Mermaid, thank you very much for linking us over at LMR's stream.
Terry T.
I think I saw Phantom D Saint sneak in there, and then he left right away. I'm running out of space here, so BS0B, I think that's the oath. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he used to be the oath.
That's Scrub, isn't it?
What?
Oh, BSOB.
No, that's not Scrub.
Somebody different.
Yeah, Karen Pierre. Okay. What else do we have here? And that's it. No más.
You're also wonderful.
No tengo tiempo. So anyway, thank you again, everybody, and thank you, Dawg, for stopping by.
Anytime, my friend.
Is there any last words you want to say?
Valor Morgulise. I think that's how it's said, isn't it? Or Boju.
Or Valor Morgulis. Or Morgulise works. So anyway.
Or pass the soup. But not the one that Tyrion made.
I wonder if he said that. If Arya said Valor Morgulise to like that ship's captain at the end of season 4, would she have gotten on?
Probably not.
Anyway.
Send her back to Westeros Grammar School.
Exactly. Or Bravosi Grammar School. Anyway. Thanks a lot, guys, again for coming out. And we'll talk to you guys later. Over and out. Bye.